Being a creator is power. Being a creator is our birthright. Being a creator is intuitive. Being a creator is giving value to this world. Being a creator symbolizes constant evolution and growth. Being a creator is good for your mental health and your brain. Being a creator means you leave something on this earth that lasts longer than you do. And ultimately, being a creator means impact. And for this exact reason, I will never buy into the narrative that content creation is the new 9-to-5 trap. No way. So this evening, I am getting ready to go to an event in Los Angeles, about an hour away from my house. It is at the Crypto Arena. So Crypto.com Arena, formerly known as the Staples Center, where the Los Angeles Lakers play. So it's not Sacramento. The LA Kings are having an event there to celebrate Women's Day, International Women's Day celebration. And so I am a nominee to be recognized there. And I'm like, what? This is incredible.
Next up we have Marissa Romero.
Woo, Marissa!
Marissa is a YouTube expert and she helps entrepreneurs make millions in revenue through YouTube. I mean, it's pretty cool.
Like, out of the millions of women here in California, in Los Angeles, I just feel incredibly honored to be an honoree tonight at the Women of Impact celebration and recognition event. And so I'm just here kind of gathering my outfit, just finished my glam, but I'm gonna wear this shirt, and you know, I'm getting my tripod ready in case there is an opportunity to create content on the road, okay? So, you know, I'll kind of take you along with me as the day goes on in the event, but I just was thinking this event would me being an honoree at this event would have never happened if back in 2018 I wouldn't have picked up my iPhone camera and started recording, okay? And we'll get into it. We will get into the 9-to-5 trap narrative.
We're in LA.
Do you love LA?
I love LA.
Really? Why?
Oh, look, because all of the tall buildings and all the traffic that you got to deal with. The traffic's the best.
Okay, so turns out, let me fix this, that I was not able to film and vlog because we got so busy. At the end of this video, stick around because I'm going to show the clips from the awards night and the Women of Impact award that I received as an honoree for the LA Kings Women's History Month celebration. So stay tuned for that. But that was the last, you know, driving to LA, that was the last clip I could get. And so kind of circling back to the theme of today's video of content creation being the new 9-to-5 trap, I first wanted to dive into what, you know, the videos that have made this same title refer to as the feelings and the situation in being in a 9-to-5. Okay, so if you are watching this video and if you're like me, you left your 9-to-5 for so many reasons, right? Perhaps you were in a government job, a corporate job, where you felt so constrained creatively. This was my situation, okay? I was feeling so trapped in my 9-to-5 because my creative capabilities, my creative skills were just being squashed down, and down. And if I can give an example, like I had so many, for those of you who don't know, I was a civil engineer for 7 years, okay? I worked for the Federal Highway Administration, which is the federal government's version of, or it was the administration within the Department of Transportation. So transportation, you know, there's aviation, all that stuff. So ours was transportation, and I had studied civil engineering and, you know, studied the real engineering, but when I got into the federal side, it was like, wait, this isn't even engineering at all. This is a bunch of paperwork, and this is a bunch of chasing the State Department on making sure sure they follow rules. So it's quite awkward. Anyways, I had so many fresh ideas, including like incorporating video into what we did with bridge inspection. Because I had some incredible opportunities. I mean, I got to walk and inspect the Golden Gate Bridge. Like, I got to be at that top part of the Golden Gate Bridge where they filmed movies, right? It was awesome. There's a lot of incredible opportunities in that career. But day by day, I mean, it was just, I could not express myself. I could never say what was on my heart. Hell, I mean, we couldn't even, as employees of the government, we couldn't even voice our opinion about our president, or else we got in trouble. So whoever was in office, we just had to act like we liked them. I was indifferent. You know, I didn't really care who was in office, but yeah, it was quite strange. And so there was a few times when we went on a bridge inspection trip, and I'm like, hey, let's incorporate drone video and like do like a documentary, and we can do this and that. And, you know, I proposed it to our headquarters office, and they're like, no, it's against the federal blah blah code and XYZ. And I'm like, dude, this is so whack. And it's just like all of my ideas kept getting pushed down and down. And even the innovative side of bridge projects and transportation, when I would propose having an innovative project to the state of Arizona, because I was working in Arizona at the time, even they were super conservative and boring. They're like, no, we only have budget for this, and we're going to do it this way because we've always done it this way. And so it was just like, oh, a cry inside to just get out. And every day, and I'm just like, there's something, it was like I was in a confined bubble, and I'm like, I can't be here not much longer. I don't know what it is I'm going to do, but I can't stay here in this job. So, and also, right, in a 9 to 5, there's the overwhelm, the burnout. I remember for weird reasons, which I can't really identify now because it's been so long, but I would have anxiety thinking about waking up early, thinking about how I'd have to be at the job for 9 hours. And it's weird. There was nothing wrong. Like, financially, I was good, had great benefits, and I was single at the time, no kids. I had very little, like, of those worries and pressures, but yeah, I was still very overwhelmed, extremely overwhelmed, and burned out. And so, kind of transitioning to content creation, I remember thinking when I transitioned, or when I was still an engineer, I remember thinking, like, I love content creation. Social media is really cool. It would be so great, because I was posting really cool pictures and creating vlog style videos just for fun, literally for fun. And I thought to myself, like, man, it'd be so cool if I could just, you know, get rewarded for all this content I'm creating. I'm like, even if it's a free shirt, a free water bottle, I don't know, anything. And so I thought, man, one day it'd be so cool to, I don't know, maybe get compensated a little bit for these videos. So anyway, fast forward to our industry now, meaning the creator economy, business owners creating content to generate leads for their businesses and their services. The narrative of content creation being a trap, it's because we allow it, right? We allow the content creation to become a burden, huge burnout, overwhelmed. And that's not self-love, right? We do it to ourselves, because whatever is going on internally in here reflects into our exterior. And so when we create content and we start to get momentum, and followers, subscribers start to grow, we then start to see these layers naturally of added pressure, right? That symbolize undertones of a 9 to 5. And so, for example, brand deals and sponsorships. I remember when I started getting brand deals and sponsorships, and it really frustrated, excuse me, have a little bit of allergies today. It started frustrating me because these companies, it was all about them, right? And it was like they were my boss, right? They were like, you have to stay within these guidelines. And oh, by the way, we didn't like your first draft of the video at all. Can you redo it? And it's just like, what? And there was all these strict deadlines and CTAs I had to say and all of these things. And I'm like, man, this is a ton of work. The brand deals and sponsorships were quite exhausting. Okay, because they were putting barriers on my creativity for sure. And so getting podcast requests, getting requests to speak on panels, the pressure more and more to be perfect on camera, right? To have perfect editing, to produce. And if I skipped a week or whatever, I would feel very down on myself. And so the monetization, and then of course the dopamine hits, not to mention the dopamine hits that you would get when a video would go viral, right? So at the prime of my channel, my channel received at its prime like almost 12,000 subscribers in a month. This was at the end of 2019. And then on the regular, I mean, videos would get great views. I would see lots of green arrows pointing up in my YouTube analytics, and tons and tons, hundreds and hundreds of comments. And those were like, yes, dopamine hits. But as soon as those things went down and into the red, it's like you judge yourself so hard. And this is so toxic, right? We say, I'm a terrible this and and we blame it on ourselves. And that's the worst thing we could do, right? That's the opposite of what we need to do, and which is like the self-love. Sorry, fellas watching this video, and you're like, oh, I'm clicking off this video, she's talking about self-love. But really, what I've learned in the past few years, especially the past 3 months, really, is that self-love is the key to everything. Because if you don't have self-love, how can you ever prevent burnout? How could you ever prevent overwhelm? Which is the key, right, to having a fulfilled content creator life, all right? Self-love really is creating a life that you don't have to escape from, right? Where you get to a Friday and you're so burnt out, you have a huge headache, you're having, requests from your team, you're having requests from whatever, you have to make sure your sales are right, all of this stuff, and you crash and burn, literally. Maybe you throw your phone across the room like I did one day because I was so frustrated, right? And I had to escape. Like I literally had to take a week off the next week and just cool the hell down. But that never would have happened if I knew how to implement self-love barriers, right? Boundaries, okay? Boundaries is a huge one that you can implement in your content creation process. And your business processes, right? Implementing systems. Systems is a huge one. Okay, so now I'm transitioning this video into like, how do you really regain the love of content creation again and stop treating it with those 9-to-5 undertones and stop with the burnout once and for all? Because really the struggle with trying to reach any type of revenue level or milestone in your business or whatever it is, starts with all of these things, right? Getting rid of the overwhelm and the burnout. That's what it starts with. So it starts, as I mentioned, going back to, what did I say? Boundaries, right? Having a start time and a hard stop time throughout your work week. Whether this looks like, hey, I'm stopping every day at 3 o'clock, no matter what. I turn off the Slack, I close the computer, I go, right? Having something that you do for you every single day. Exercise is a great one. It puts scientifically, it puts the happy hormones back into our body, right? Doing something throughout the week, right? Treating maybe a Wednesday like a Saturday. Maybe you go out into nature, maybe it's you change your scene, you go to a coffee shop, you relax. The whole point is to stay calm, right? Stay calm, stay focused on the vision and stay focused on your true purpose behind the channel. Because if you're caught in the weeds of the day-to-day, you lose focus of the vision and why you're doing this whole thing in the first place, right? And why you get far from the spark that you had at the beginning of like, dude, creating content is cool. Creating content is dope. Like, people get to see me on the internet, right? And they get to see me express my knowledge and get to know my personality, right? And my gifts that I'm sharing with the world. And so that's the biggest thing. And this is something that a transition that we've made in my company, right? Subscribers to Sales, which has now, it's gone from just like a course, right? A digital course, as some of you may know, to its transition to an agency like business model, where it's a combination of high-touch coaching done with you and done for you services. But the whole point that we lead with are the foundations that you're building your content creation business on, specifically for YouTubers. Okay, so the systems, right? What systems are you carrying forth or have you built so that you can scale, right? So the whole idea is to systemize things once and autopilot forever. What do I mean by autopilot? Well, every day we go about our routine and we know what we need to do without even thinking about it. That's what's called autopilot. So when you make your system strong, when you establish work routines, when you establish blocked time frames in your calendar where no matter what's going on, I'm not going to take calls during this time, I'm not going to do anything else, I'm going to block off this 2-hour space in my calendar this week to create content, and I'm just going to bang it out. Once you have that routine established, then it becomes autopilot. The other thing, right, is literally the software and the tool side of it. Do you have a system, literally a project management tool? We use Asana, we love it, but that could be Monday.com, that could be ClickUp, that could be something like that. But do you have a business hub, right, where you can house your video projects? You know what's going on. As a matter of fact, like this, I don't know if you can see this, but this is a snapshot of my Asana on my phone, right? You see Marissa's business calendar, and it's all here, right? I can see all of my ideas. I can see which videos, well, yeah, you can see like which videos have already been produced and which ones are being edited. And so I'm looking at my phone right now, looking at my script. Like, this is how I operate. This is how you take everything that needs to be in your head and you transfer it to a centralized place to do the heavy lifting for you, to remember for you. Okay, because if I had to remember all of this in my head, what my title ideas were, the people on my team who are helping me edit it, who are helping me submit it to or optimize it on YouTube, I would never remember it. I mean, the conscious brain can't do these things, right? It just can't. There's so many things to remember on top of all the other responsibilities as a business owner that I have going on. And so all of that to be said is establish your strong systems first, all right? If you want help with this, I encourage you to download my Subscribers to Sales Blueprint, which is right here, totally free resource. If you want to take it a step further, I have a very mini workshop. It's called Subscribers to Sales Systems, right? Which will allow you to clone everything that I've created as far as YouTube content creation, workflows, and clone that into your business, right? That's a really affordable product. I mean, it will save you so much time. It's only for the price of $47. There might be a one-time discount code. I'll leave it in the description if there is, but definitely check that out as well, so you can really systemize once, autopilot forever, and stop with the burnout once and for all. Stop living a life that you constantly have to take an aspirin for every single day, where you're constantly like, why did I get myself into this trap, right? It's not a trap. It's you've created this trap, but it's all what's the word? An illusion, right? Because if you created a trap, you can create peace, you can create calmness, and you can create a lifestyle to operate your business and do everything in peace. And that is sustainable, that is enjoyable, that is, again, as I mentioned, self-love. So anyways, check out those resources. And so as I mentioned, I would talk about the event. So let me talk about it. Really, so that day, my mother and I, she came with me to accompany me to join me in Los Angeles at the Crypto.com arena. We got all dressed up and did my glam, and we drove down to LA. We drove down early because if we drove any time past 2 o'clock, it would have been a disaster. We are almost there, exiting a mile. We've been in 10 mile per hour traffic for about 40 minutes. So we arrived, we got to the arena, Crypto.com, where the Los Angeles Lakers play, the LA Kings, LA Clippers. And we got to go on the ice. We got to go on the ice ring where they actually play. I've never been on a hockey stadium floor before. It's not that cold. On that first level, we got to walk behind that, I forget what it's called officially, but where the players have their locker rooms, and when they come out and everything and go back in for halftime. That was so cool because I'm a huge Laker fan. I mean, I've been a Lakers fan since I was like a 9-year-old little girl. And although it was the LA Kings, just to think like, man, Kobe's been here and all these fantastic players. I'm like, this is so cool. And it was the first time I was ever on that level. And then I got to meet other honorees for the Women of Impact celebration, women who are killing it in all types of industries, right? Photography, makeup, fitness, construction, ministry work, travel, just all these really cool things. I'm like, wow. It was fascinating. And so we had an award ceremony. We got to take pictures. There's a lot of incredible speakers, stories of resilience, and so it really made me quite proud because it was something that made me think, like, if I would have never picked up my camera back in when I first did. Literally it was back in 2016 when I was starting to make vlogs. If I never would have followed my heart and decided to start to speak into this camera, say what was on my mind, like I never would have been able to get honored like that with those women. With the LA Kings, like Women's History Month, that's so mind-blowing. I still feel super honored.
Next up we have Marissa Romero.
Woo, Marissa!
Marissa is a YouTube expert, and she helps entrepreneurs make millions in revenue through YouTube. I mean, it's pretty cool.
My point is, when you create content from your heart with the right intention and set up systems and boundaries and things that help you day to day operate at a high vibration, create content from your expertise, and really allow people to come to you and build that authority and trust. When you do that from a place of love, right? That is the sweet spot, and that is where you'll be able to permanently operate in peace without the burnout, without the overwhelm, and it'll never be a 9-to-5 trap type operation and filling, okay? So that's like our whole mission behind what we do. Like, we at Subscribers to Sales, we want to help 100,000 YouTube business owners decrease their workload, work way less, right? But still allowing their YouTube channel and their business to scale without them, right? Without it being and having narratives of a 9-to-5, okay? So I hope this video was cool and it opened up some different perspective for you. And again, check out the resources, the links in the description. If you love this video, definitely check out the video that's coming up next. All you got to do is click right here, and I will see you on that video. And yeah, have an amazing one.